everyone, it's Monica with Creekside Blooms. Let's go for the garden tour part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, I've done the front and mostly the top of my garden, and now we're gonna go down the hill to see the other parts. But I forgot to show you my tomatoes. I hope everyone had a good week and a good Easter. And now let's just enjoy the spring. So here are my tomatoes, and here's my cat Luna. So my tomatoes are kind of small yet because I don't want to start them too early. I've done it before and I still have to take care of them until the end of May, so they have plenty of time to grow, but I will make a video of how to care for them. But just like if you want to look a little bit, what are they? So these are the cherry ones. These are the this is the Kentucky beefsteak, and the other one's the Kellogg breakfast. This one's the Dr. which is yellow. This one's the brandy wine, and it has leaves that resemble more the potatoes, the brandy wine. And this one is San Marzano, so those are the paste ones, and the other ones are also some cherry tomatoes. So now let's go on the garden tour. So here I just finished the edging on this side, and never take your evergreens for granted, because they are the bones of your bed. If I only had the bulbs in here, my bed would have been really empty. And what I didn't show in here in the part 1 is the lilac at the back, and it's forming some buds at the top that we can see. And I like the structure of it. It has like this vase shape going up. I hope you can see, get the whole picture. Okay, so now let's go down the hill. I sprayed the fruit trees yesterday. That was one of the not so pleasant jobs to do. I used this thing here, the chopping sprayer, and I had the Dorman spray in there with the neem oil and sulfur. I want to show you something in here. These are snapdragons that they are starting to come up in here. They are the hardiest things, and I let them because I had them last year too, and they were so much fun. They pop in here and then they start blooming in my stairs, which I can live with it. So the strawberry beds are starting to have, the strawberries are coming up nicely. I have to come and weed in here before they get a little bit bigger, because I have this grass that first it was just a little bit last year, and I kind of liked the look of it. It was a pretty grass, and look what it did now. So what I'm thinking now, I started to pull some of it, but then I'm thinking, since the grass is kind of pretty, why don't I use it in the containers? So that's what I'm gonna do. The burning bush looks pretty in there, with the tips in there. And here on the hill, the creeping Jenny and the violets are going rampant. This is the raspberry cane that started to put leaves on, and these I have to clean. This is the only raspberry that I haven't cleaned and trimmed old. So much work to be done in spring in the garden. It's unbelievable. I'm thinking at some point that I'm gonna want to build this other section of the wall here, just like I did it in here, because I just have to give myself to really have the courage to order all that stone and get started. So in here my seedlings are hardening off. These are the sunflowers that I planted. This is the giant one. I don't know if you watched my other videos. I started 3 sunflowers. One that grows 7 to 8 feet, and this is the giant one. And then I have this one's a teddy bear one that grows only 2 feet, and it has this fluffy teddy bear. These are marigolds in here. This is stalk. And these are some ranunculus, which I need to get in the ground, but I'm chickening out because they said it's gonna be frozen temperatures in a few days, and they keep delaying it, so I'm not too sure what to do. This is a peony that started to grow. It's Alexander Fleming, and there's some dahlias in there, and this is the fun allium. And in the greenhouse, this is the moringa tree that if you guys watch my previous videos that I started to grow, this is supposed to be a very good plant that comes from Africa that contains a lot of protein, but so far I'm not really impressed with it. It's very hard to grow from seed. It's kind of the stem is pretty strong, but the leaves are so weak and it's so limpy. I'm not too sure about it. I'm gonna have to see what I'm gonna do about it. And here's the other sunflower, the garnet star. In here I have some zinnias, and those are the ground cherries. If you haven't watched my video on ground cherries are so awesome. They're very easy to grow. They have virtually no pests because they grow in those Chinese lantern paper things that pests don't see them. In here I have this vine, the hibiscus vine that I'm growing. So now let's go take a look before the rain starts, because it looks like it's got pretty cloudy out there and dark, and it's supposed to rain tonight. The lilac buds are forming in here on the bloomerang lilac. This is the apple tree. The apple tree started to have some blossoms forming. And these are the clematis on the other side. So I try to make a symmetry here in front of my garden, but not exactly, because that section is a little bit wider, but they kind of play on each other a little bit with the evergreens and the boxwoods and the little shrubs. And now I'll show you what I've done so far in the raised beds. So I planted some radishes in here and some nigella. I don't know if you can see those diagonals in here. And I should stop putting tags, because soon I'm gonna forget what I planted. Yeah, I planted some radishes from seed. And in here, on the first one, and radishes on this one, and some sweet peas here on the trellis. And in here, look at this asparagus growing. I am so excited to see it growing. I have to harvest it tonight, and because more stalks are coming from the ground. And it's a good choice to grow it in the strawberry bed because they are both perennial and they're a good companion. The raspberries in here are starting to leaf out also, and the oregano. Oh, I see a little bit of drops. Let's go quickly to the creek because we might have to end the video quicker. The forsythia is like in full glory. And there's another clematis in here. Let's lift out nicely the false spirea. And this one's an elderberry. So much clay in here from the creek. The pear tree has put some buds. It's getting really dark out there. Those fun things. I don't know what this tree is. I'm gonna have to bring my app because now I'm so happy to play with the plant net to identify plants. So much fun. Nice and calm. The hoscaps in here are doing well. Here are goji berries that I put those cages around, and I had the hardest time to keep those cages in, and then the rabbits would come and eat them if I don't have a cage. Like this one, the cage fell, and I don't know where's the goji berry that was supposed to be in here. Hopefully it will come back from wherever it is. But the ones that they had the cage on, they're there. The grass has come back. It's so fun to see the grass coming back. This is where the wild things are in this area. This one's a pawpaw, and I'm looking for any signs of leafing in here, but I don't see anything yet. I will show you what I've done in here. So in this bed here, it was a new bed, and last year I just mulched it. So in here I planted some onions all around the perimeter in here, and I also planted some carrots. And then I made those circles in here. I don't know if you can see, but that's just to get started on it. I'm gonna have to do some more. That's just like putting the cold weather crops in. You're coming? Because you're the one that doesn't like to get wet. Hardy kiwi is putting some green shoots everywhere. Those are gooseberry bushes in here. These things always grow, no problem. Here is another hardy kiwi that grows on this fence. Rose or Sharon. Looks like a little bit green. To rain, and I have to close the door to my greenhouse and get my seedlings in. So I think we pretty much saw everything. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.